Hey guys, this is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead. Hey, I had a conversation the other day with my wife, and it kind of really got me to thinking. So I just started doing a little digging, a little research online, and just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, what is a homesteader? Because my wife hasn't completely bought into this idea of homesteading, because I think all she really thinks about is that doomsday prepper mentality, and that's not where I'm really at. But I think homesteader kind of more or less classifies my lifestyle. Okay. So I grew up in the country, kind of on a small farm. We didn't really have a garden or anything like that as a kid. We had cows, we had a calf butchered every year and things like that. But not a hardcore homesteader, prepper, just a normal everyday family. As I got a little older though, I really got into gardening, and I think that was kind of my gateway drug into this homesteading thing. So um, anyway, let me dive into this. I took a few notes so I can stay on track because I have a hard time staying on track if I don't. So I was kind of looking up Wikipedia. Defines homesteading, just a short definition, is a lifestyle of self-sufficiency. It's characterized by subsistence agriculture and home preservation of food. So, what does that mean? That means, to me, it's a self-sufficient lifestyle, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, not depending on grocery stores for everything you get, not depending on Walmart to survive. Okay, so like I said, my wife and I were talking, and I think as I've kind of got more into this YouTube idea of posting these videos and things, I think she just sees some changes in me. And it's not that I've changed the way I live, because everything here is about the same. But we've been talking about it more. She's not quite open-minded into this self-sufficient lifestyle. She loves the food that we provide ourselves, and she's a great cook, and she's very frugal and things like that. Um, but all she can see is that doomsday prepper thing, or the off-grid lifestyle. And me personally, yeah, if I didn't have to work 40 hours a week and raising our kids the way we were, I could go somewhere and live off-grid. But that's not where my life's at right now. That's not where my family's at right now. So that's not where I'm going to be. My family is big into sports and things, and our kids are active in school. We're not an off-grid family right now. Okay, probably won't be an off-grid family, because that's not where my wife wants to go. And we're married, and that's our relationship, and I respect her, and I'll honor that, because that's just the way it is. Okay, so homesteading. What is homesteading? What is a homesteader? Um, to me, you know, I think homesteading, you kind of define it as whatever you want to define it in a sense. Okay, you can take it as far as you want or as small as you want. But there are some big key things, I think, that define what a homesteader is. Okay, gardening is a big thing. Gardening and animals kind of go hand in hand. Um, Living frugal, the idea of that reduce, reuse, recycle, and making things of your own, and food storage. So first off, I'll start off with gardening and animals, livestock. So first off, gardening. That, like I said, that was kind of what got me into this lifestyle. Just the fact that I could grow my own food. I got so excited the first couple of years I had a garden, when I could produce something and bring it into my house, and the flavor was just so much better than the same thing you could buy at the grocery store. There was no comparison. So gardening, it saves you money at the grocery store. It's much better food, and you can rely on yourself. You're not relying on Walmart or whatever grocery store you use. Okay, point number two is frugality, frugal living. It's more than just cutting coupons. You got to know the value of the things you're getting and make sure you get your money's worth. My wife shines in this frugality department way more than I do, because I'm the kind of guy, if I need something and I know I'm going to use it, I'll just go buy it. And she's very good about sitting back and going, well, is this something we really need? Is it in our budget? She's big on the budget. She's huge on money and what our family has and what our family needs. But the frugality of things, the frugal living concept, it's just like this barn I built. I built it myself with the help of my brother, and I've got about $12,000 in it. I saved for a long time. It took me probably 4 or 5 years to save up that kind of money. But had I just gone out and hired somebody to come in and put it up, they'd have had it done in a couple weeks, versus, I guess we're going on 2 or 3 months now. But it would have been about $24,000. All the bids I had to put this thing up, guys, we're basically going to take the cost of materials and double it. So, that would have cost me an extra $12,000 and taken twice as long to save up that kind of money. So being frugal and doing things for yourself really makes a huge difference in the amount of money that you have for the things that you want. If you can get by with something that'll doing it yourself. Okay. The third point, reduce, reuse, recycle, kind of goes hand in hand with being frugal. There's a lot of things on a homestead that things that you use that you can repurpose and reuse for other things. Take for instance, milk cartons and the little containers, little clamshell containers that strawberries and berries come in. Those things make perfect little greenhouses. Take your milk cartons, cut the top off, all but about 2 inches or so. Fold that over, put your dirt in, put your seeds in, and close that thing back up, and put it on, in a window, and you got a little mini greenhouse. Same with those little clamshells for your berries. It's just on a homestead, on a small farm, you've got so many things that you use that if you don't throw away, it might be a few years or it might be a few weeks, but you can find another way to use a lot of things. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. I think that's a big part of homesteading. Number 4, make your own. There's so many things on homestead that you can produce yourself, your own cleaners, vinegar. You can make a ton of different cleaners for your household. All kinds of soaps, goat's milk soap, laundry detergent, dish detergent. And that saves you money, kind of like goes hand in hand with being frugal. Let's see, spice mixes. You can make your own spices. And a big one for me on make your own is food stuff. Making your own bread, cake mixes. I mean, you don't know what's in those boxes of cake mix at the store, so you can make your own. It tastes better. You know what ingredients are in there. There's not near the preservatives in it. Like Bisquick. I mean, come on, guys. If you can't come up with a simple recipe to make pancakes and biscuits and waffles and things like that without using Bisquick, I mean, that stuff, I think it tastes good. Bisquick is good, and it's good for a lot of different things, but you can make your own and it's better and it's much healthier for your family. And lastly, number 5 is food storage. Canning your own stuff from your own garden, or even canning food from a farmer's market. Say you're not able to go out and produce 40, 50 pounds of tomatoes to make some kind of pasta sauce. Go to your farmer's market, guys. You can buy that stuff in bulk for a lot cheaper, and it's so much better than tomatoes at the grocery store. If you're anything in any kind of homestead environment or any kind of garden person, grocery store tomatoes aren't tomatoes. You can also, but canning was a big thing for me. When we first got into our garden and started making excess food, I really wanted to learn how to can, and that was kind of exciting for me, and I've gotten really good at it, and I enjoy it, and we put up a lot of food in jars. But you can also dehydrate, make snacks for your kids. It's a lot healthier than what they can buy, for at the grocery store. Take apples, dehydrated apples. My kids will eat them all day long, and that's a good healthy snack. And meat, butchering your own meat. Even if you don't butcher yourself, raising your own animals for meat, like I said, back up in gardening, if you can produce eggs and chicken and ducks, goats, raise a pig or two, that meat is phenomenal. It's 10 times better than anything you'll get at the grocery store, a lot healthier. And here's the thing, where it came from. That's my deal with meat, is I got to know where it came from. I don't like meat that came from a CAFO or a big feedlot. I want to know that the animals I'm eating was raised in a good way, fed good healthy food, and then I'm going to take that meat from those animals and give it to my children, and I want them to know that they have the best food that they can get going on their plate. Okay, so guys, there's a lot more to homesteading than that. Those are just a few things that I could think of on spur of the moment that I wanted to talk about. Homesteading is one of those things, you kind of make it what you want. It doesn't have to be all out. You can be a homesteader in an apartment, or you can be a homesteader on a huge farm. It doesn't have to be doomsday prepper type stuff. It's just taking care of yourself and taking care of your family the best that you can. All right, y'all guys have a good day. Thanks for watching.